Stop studying grammar. Start listening like a native. Grammar is the biggest lie you were ever told about English. I know that sounds shocking, but stay with me for a moment. I'm Lydia, and welcome to Learn English Listening, the place where we turn frustration into fluency, and every story helps you feel more confident in English. I once sat in a cafe early in the morning watching two students practicing English together. One spoke fast and free. Her sentences were not perfect, yet her ideas flowed like water. The other sat still, eyes fixed on her notebook. Every time she opened her mouth, she stopped halfway, whispering the rules of the present perfect tense under her breath. The first student looked alive. The second looked trapped, and that was me once. I could explain grammar rules better than anyone in my class, but when a native speaker asked me a simple question, my mind froze. I knew every rule, but could not say a single sentence. Which city are you joining us from, and what hour is it there? I always love to know who is learning along with me. I want you to think of your own English journey. How long have you been studying grammar rules? How many times did you sit with your book open, thinking that one more rule would finally unlock fluency? Yet when real conversation arrived, the words disappeared. This is what I call the grammar trap. It looks like knowledge, but it steals your freedom. It makes you overthink every word before you speak, and when you overthink it, your confidence dies. So today, let us break that trap. Let us forget about grammar for a moment and learn to listen like a native speaker, because the truth is simple. Natives do not think about grammar. They live the rhythm of English. And you can too. Stay with me. By the end of this story, you will understand why grammar was never the door to fluency, it was the lock. There was a morning in San Francisco I will never forget. I walked into a small cafe and wanted to order a cup of coffee. When the barista smiled and asked, "How would you like it?" my brain exploded with grammar rules. Should I use would like or want? Should I add please at the end? I froze. My heart beat faster. My tongue forgot its job. Finally, I whispered, "Coffee sugar, no, please." The barista smiled kindly, but my face burned with shame. It felt like trying to dance while reading the steps. I was trapped inside my own head. I could not hear the rhythm anymore. Have you ever carried a burden no one else could see? The fear of speaking wrong English, the weight of being judged for one small mistake. That fear sits inside so many learners. It makes your voice shake. It makes your joy disappear. For years, I studied grammar every night. I memorized every tense. I filled notebooks with rules. Yet when I met real people, I had no idea how to speak. Every time I tried, I could hear a small voice in my head whispering, "Wrong tense, wrong word, wrong pronunciation." One day, I looked at my shelves filled with grammar books, and I asked myself one simple question. If grammar were the key, why was I still locked outside the door of fluency? That day, I realized something powerful. Grammar was not my teacher. It was my cage. What was your most embarrassing English mistake? Did you freeze like I did? Did you feel small, even though you had studied for years? You are not alone. Almost every learner has lived that same moment of silence. But silence can become the start of a new story. When you decide that fluency matters more than perfection, the door begins to open. After that day, I began to watch how children learn. I lived with a family in California for one summer. Their little girl was only 3 years old. She could speak full sentences with perfect rhythm. She had never opened a grammar book. She just listened. She copied what she heard. She made mistakes, laughed, and kept going. That is when I understood something deep. English is not a puzzle. It is a song. You do not study it. You feel it. When you listen to a song, you do not analyze every note. You feel the rhythm. You repeat it until it becomes part of you. That is how native speakers learn their own language. They pick it up naturally. They do not even realize they are learning. So here is your new practice. Every morning, listen to 5 minutes of natural English. It can be a podcast, a movie scene, or even this channel. Listen without trying to translate. Let the words flow into your ears. Then, repeat what you hear, exactly as you hear it. Do not think about tenses. Do not correct yourself. Just echo the sound. Let it sink in. That phrase means let the words rest in your mind until they become yours. Do this daily. Let your ears teach your tongue. Soon, you will notice something beautiful. Your sentences will start to arrange themselves. The rules you once studied will appear naturally without you thinking about them. Do you remember a movie line that taught you real English? What English phrases do you love repeating? Those moments are your true teachers. This is how fluency begins. Not with rules, with rhythm, not with fear, with trust. Tomorrow, we will talk about what happens when you stop studying and start living the language. But for now, listen more, speak freely, and remember, the secret of fluency has been singing in your ears all along. 3 weeks after I stopped studying grammar, something incredible happened. I met Hana, a student from Japan, who felt the same fear I once carried. She had studied English for 8 years, but every time she tried to speak, her voice trembled. She thought too much about every sentence. I told her, forget the rules for 1 month. Just listen, repeat, and speak without thinking. For 21 days, Hana listened to short English dialogues every morning. She shadowed the speakers, copying their tone, rhythm, and pause. At first, she sounded shy, but one morning she sent me a voice message. Ajtu, her voice was alive. It flowed. She laughed at her own mistakes. Later, she had a meeting with international clients. She told me I was nervous, but I decided to go with the flow, and it worked. She spoke freely. They understood her. That was the first time she felt fluent, even though she was not perfect. Fluency is not perfection. It is connection. When your words reach another heart, that is fluency. Have you ever had a moment like Hannah's, when someone understood you, even if your grammar was not perfect? That feeling is freedom. This is what it means to break free, to stop measuring your English by rules and start feeling it as communication. If tomorrow gave you a fresh start, would you still study rules? Or would you start listening? Every person who speaks English fluently once stood where you stand now. They decided to let go, to trust the rhythm of their own voice. Your progress will not come from memorizing. It will come from speaking with courage. Go with the flow. Break free. The moment you stop chasing grammar, English starts chasing you. Learning English is like planting a tree. You cannot pull its roots every day to check if it is growing. You water it. You keep it in the light. You wait. The same is true for your fluency. You do not need to check every word for mistakes. You just need to keep speaking, keep listening, and keep feeling. From today, I want you to forgive yourself for every broken sentence. Each one brought you closer to confidence. Each one carried your heart forward. What made you afraid to speak English before? Was it a teacher who corrected you too harshly? Was it the look on someone's face when you made a small mistake? If you could talk to your younger self learning English, what would you say? I would say, it is okay. You are enough. When you stop judging your English, it starts to grow. The moment you relax, your brain opens. It listens. It learns faster. You do not need to be perfect to be understood. You only need to be brave enough to try. Your voice matters more than your grammar, and the world is waiting to hear it. So today, speak softly, listen deeply, and trust that every sound you make is one more leaf on your tree of fluency. Let us return to that cafe at the beginning. Two students sitting together, one trapped in grammar, one free in rhythm. Today, you get to choose which one you want to be. At this moment, you stand between comfort and growth. Which path will you take? You can stay in the world of rules, afraid of every mistake. Or you can step into the rhythm of English, where every word becomes music. If this message gave you courage, share it with someone who is tired of grammar books. Tell them that freedom is not in rules, it is in rhythm. Fluency is not about knowing everything. It is about feeling alive in every conversation. And if you are ready, subscribe now. Stay with me on this journey where English becomes a part of who you are. In our next story, I will show you the silent killer of fluency, translating in your head, and how to stop it forever. It will change the way you listen forever. Do you still think grammar is necessary for fluent speaking? I would love to hear your thoughts below. Your story matters. Your words matter. Keep speaking, keep listening, keep growing.